Jaffe, you're still covering for Tommy Tallarico's scam box. There was some news the other day that looked like the Intellivision Amico was pretty much dodoed. It was gone. It was because they failed to file a trademark for the name, and they've gone and fixed it. There's a very low chance the Intellivision Amico will come out, from everything I understand, everything I've heard. What I will tell you though is, and I can't speak to anybody else other than what I know about Tommy. He had me come down there a couple years back. Trust me, this guy was not scamming people. There was hardware, there were games, there were companies. He even said, Jaffe, do you want to come work on design? And I didn't, but it was a real deal. I know people who worked there. I think he was pitching me a lot of stuff that just seemed like, wow, that's impressive if you can pull that off. But it was Tommy's a dreamer, but he is also a guy who has a great deal of experience where his dreams, he's been able to will them into existence. And I think shame on our society for when those people fail. A lot of people like to laugh about it, but that's what it takes. Everybody who has ever created anything, you risk failure, but that's the only way you're ever going to be successful is if you risk failure. And failure is not so bad because at least you tried. You're not sitting on the sidelines just, judging everybody else. So I do not think Tommy was ever trying to scam anybody. I think he really wanted this to happen. He really had a lot of good people he was working with, but it was incredibly ambitious. And I honestly think they bit off way more than they could chew. And I think with Tommy at the time, he's not the CEO anymore in the leadership position. He was the right guy to be the visionary, but he was the wrong guy, in my opinion, if this doesn't get pulled off, to be the one that really was driving the day-to-day operations of a hardware software company. Zaf, I don't even know what you're talking about. He got called out for being a fraud. You can call him out for being a fraud. All I can tell you is I don't lie. I went to their studio. I played the Amico. I saw their software. I saw their plans. I saw and know employees that were being paid to work at that studio. Now, if Tommy was doing all of that as a scam, then Tommy's biggest criticism, besides breaking the law, would be he's horrible at being a scam artist. Because if you're going to scam people out of their money, why in the fucking world would you take their money and actually do the work that takes the money that you scammed and putting it into the actual work? You would just take it and go to fucking Mexico. But he was spending the money to make the product. It wasn't a scam, in my opinion. But I know, look, I was there. You weren't. Okay, so if you have proof, send me a link. Otherwise, it's your word versus mine, and I was there. Right, that's a lot of work to scam, Nolan. And Maskista says, I don't think it was a scam. The project just didn't work out. It may still work out. I know they're trying, but I would be stunned. It'd be the biggest pull up from the mountain before the plane hits the rocks that I've ever seen.